So hello everyone. So I have all this layered, pretty much how it came in the file, except for the bows. But what I'm gonna do is try something different. Instead of adding the foam tape to each layer, I'm just gonna probably add the foam tape to select layers and probably just a back layer. Usually I'll add foam tape to every layer, but then for this nativity scene, I just decided to only add it to the bottom two layers and not the top layer. I actually took it off because I just didn't want it as puffy, but it came out pretty nice as well. So for this one, we're just gonna, it's gonna be more of a flat card, but you can also just alter it however you see fit. So the first thing I'm gonna do is just the bottom layer of this card is just, it doesn't have any add-ons to it, but I'm gonna go ahead and add the Merry Christmas. And these you can just layer on. We want to make sure that we're following the Y is a good way. Okay. And then that's that little dot. Make sure you don't lose that. And just easy does it with this glue. You don't need a lot of it. I'm just adding just small little dots here. And then I'll just make sure that I'll see this H and I just give it a little bit of space there and where the T is as well. And then let me grab that dot. I'm gonna just put glue here. Just a little bit. Let me pick up this dot. Okay, and just place it. Okay, so instead of adding the foam tape, I'm going to just adhere it directly on here. But you can also add foam tape if you want to, and it'll just give it a little bit more distance. Give it a little bit more dimension, a little bit more depth. All right. Make sure that we're lined up really well. And that's why I don't use a lot of glues, that I'm able to position things pretty easily, reposition it if I need to. All right, so then we have these two. So I'm gonna actually add this top piece. So this part could be not a little tricky, but the first thing we wanna do is add the lighter green wreaths to this base layer. And we have a little offset here. Okay, and from here, I'll add this darker bow wreath, but what I'm going to do is I am going to add a couple of little small pop darts to this one. And put some on the end here. And before I take the tape off of that, I actually want to put this on top here, because this is actually going to be offset as well. The offset portion of this, let me see, make sure that this is lined up correctly. Okay, yep. So just make sure that you have the right side of the paper for that. I'm going to go ahead and glue this down. And just go lightly on the glue. And again, this is a little offset here. And we can add I'm going to go ahead and add this darker, I want the yellow bow. So you have an option, and I had these extra cutouts, so I could either add this yellow bow here, which is what I think I'm going to do, or you could do this outline. I guess I'll go with the outline. Just be very careful with the glue. Okay. So, okay, that's nice to go really light with the glue because I actually glued the wrong side. So just make sure that you are lined up with the bow. Okay, here we go. Okay. And then now I'm gonna pop dot. I'm gonna put a couple of dots at the, it's good to kind of turn it over so that you could, probably should have put the, put this together before I did the dots on the back. I'm also gonna add dots to this ribbon part of the bow. All right. Go ahead and take the tape off. Okay, let's line this up. And then I'll go ahead and glue this on to the card. Put a little bit more on this end. Okay, make sure that everything's lined up nicely. And we're gonna actually add the foam tape to that back layer. And I'm going in just a little bit more because I don't want that tape to be shown too much. And I could actually add a couple of these dots to this structure here. Now add another one to the center here. Okay. So with these cards, you can add the foam tape to each layer, or you can be selective about which layers and just kind of stack them for a layered look. I like to kind of play around with them and kind of make it my own creation, depending on what colors you want to add to it. If you want to make things in a different color scheme, you definitely can. Like a silver and blue would be really pretty. And you see these, this was an extra cutout from the outline, but this was, it could have gone on the, in the center of the bow, which I still can add to it. Okay, did I get that off? Okay, sometimes it's hard for me to remember which ones I've had. Okay, and it's nice. This is nice and firm. So now I just want to make sure that I'm lining this up well. Okay, nicely done. Okay, yeah, here we go. And I'm gonna actually fold this. I should have folded this before we actually got started, but yeah, this is a card. This is an awesome card. It's really nice. I can add this to the center here and maybe offset it a little bit or add another dot to it, which I think I'll do. Give it a little bit more dimension. Although I have fingernails, it's still kind of hard sometimes to pull this little paper backing off. Really sticky. Okay. I get it? Yeah, here it is. Okay, so then we'll add this on top here. Darn it, wouldn't you know I put it the wrong way again. But just make sure that you're lining things up a little bit better than I've done with this. This is a larger piece that goes to the side, but I still like the three-dimensionality to it. It is almost like it's kind of lopsided a little bit, like a little floppy bow. So here we go. And I really like the three-dimension to these leaves. This is a really nice card. Let's go ahead and put together the envelope. I'm just gonna fold this. I think this is, I don't know if there's a right or wrong side of this paper, but I bought this paper from Michael's, and then this is a 65-pound weight paper, just for the solid colors. And I know I don't have to go all the way up to the top, so usually I'll just go to where I think the glue should end, and then I'll add just a little bit of glue to this little side just to make sure that I have it. I try not to go all the way to the top because I don't want all this glue. All right. And there we go. And here, let's make sure that it fits nicely. Okay, maybe I need to add a little bit more glue. Kind of a little sparse with that, and probably give it a chance to dry before I start putting the envelope in. But I've given it enough room, as you can see in the card, so that you'll have a little bit room for the poofiness of the card. And something worth pointing out, you could add foam tape to this outside area, because then the Y would show a little bit better. Right now my Y is just a little bit covered because I opted not to add the foam tape to this outer layer. But here we go, it should be dry enough. So there we go. Fits in like a charm. Thanks for watching.